Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage, the good old WTD question mark here on my channel. The segment where I can really let the dogs out and talk about anger-inducing topics that are usually very unpopular, and I get very mean comments about them sometimes, but I don't care because this is a public place for me to, publicly share public opinions and whatnot, and I take all of the public hate that I get because that's just life. I'm going to be talking about something that actually does make me very angry, and I have covered this on this channel before that I'm even wearing the same shirt. But the first time that I did it, my channel was different. It sucked. I was way too close to the camera and the lighting was all wonky, so I just want to do it again because it's going to be better now and awesomer. And I'm going to be talking about art, or rather the subjectiveness of art, in general as a form of itself, because an art form, a form of art, but it's art, so it's already itself in the artsy. I'm going to be covering why certain degrees of art feel very strange and, awkward to behold, but they say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and everything is subjective in life, especially art. What one person finds beautiful, another might find ugly, so it's really weird how this works. It's kind of like the physical attributes of a person or a thing, And one of the things that I most have a bone to pick with is abstract art, because it's not really, it's not limited by what we see in life. It kind of has its own little, degree of independence from other visual representations or references in the world. It became a thing in the 19th century when artists were wanting to make when artists were wanting to reflect fundamental changes in areas like science and technology and philosophy. So it started to expand and grow more and more. But the thing is that there are different kinds of abstract art that just don't make a lot of sense at all to me. It's just really freaky. I really just don't like it at all. And within the area of abstract art, there's, non-figurative art, there is non-objective art, there's non-representational art, and all of these have they have different meanings, but they're kind of grounded in the same areas, so it's really strange. But the thing with art is that I am a pretty artistic person, but I'm not the kind of guy who wants to go into a museum and see a bunch of different paintings of stuff, because to me all of them look like a bunch of colors and shapes, which is what abstract art is really all about. It's the concept of using different shapes and forms and colors and lines to create different representations of the world, different compositions that can be interpreted in different ways by different people, and it's just exhausting. It's tiring as hell, and I hate it, because sometimes you'll go to a painting and it's literally just a series of different colored dots, for example, or shapes. It doesn't seem to represent anything. It's just a mixture of colors and different formats, and yet it's there sitting in a museum like the Louvre, for example, and it was sold at auction for millions of dollars, and so many people come in to see it. It's very famous, and it doesn't make sense because it's just a bunch of stupid shapes and colors on a white background. Sometimes it's even less than that. It's literally just one shape, one little format, a weird style of face, and I don't know, if it was made by an artist like Pablo Picasso, it's gonna be sold for millions. It's so stupid because Picasso was the kind of guy who might have sneezed on a canvas and already that would have been put in the museum. It's really dumb because people seem to consume and value art more for the namesake of the artist instead of the actual art itself being represented, which I think is really dumb. It's very stale, and obviously it takes away a lot of the essence of what the art is supposed to represent. That's why I really don't like this kind of art at all, because whenever something is very subjective to human opinions, it starts to become very hard to understand and take seriously. I understand that people have the right to their own opinions and what they think about this and that, but art has always been very strange to me in this degree, and sometimes there are very surrealist and crazy paintings that to me are very creepy and unsettling, but others think it's amazing because they're comments on society or this or that or whatever. Before I continue, I'm going to physically illustrate what I'm talking about with some examples here. Here are some 4 photos of random art forms that I think are weird, whether they're abstract or otherwise. Do you see what I mean? It doesn't make any sense at all, at least not to me. Maybe you saw those photos and you're like, wow, that's awesome, that's really good, you know? I'm pretty sure the vast majority were abstract, you know, because Google Images kind of works really strangely around this kind of thing, you know? But basically whatever you guys saw was what it is, you know? And it's very strange how this works because there are different degrees of abstraction within art, you know? It usually is a departure from reality in its depiction of the imagery, you know, and it does exist along this continuum, and there are some different forms of it, you know? There is, for example, geometric abstraction or lyrical abstraction, you know, and they all take their sources, you know, from different inspirations, and theoretically they would be impossible to exist in real life, you know? But there is an example for, like in geometric, where, you know, it's really unlikely for somebody to find references in natural entities, you know, so you're not gonna find any references to geometric abstraction in real life because it's literally made to not exist, you know? It's really, really freaking strange, and I hate it. There's also how do I say this? Figurative art, you know? And I have a little cheat sheet here that I'm reading from, you know. There's figurative art and also total abstraction, which are kind of mutually exclusive in a way within art, you know, which is very strange. And then there's also the representational art, which could also be realistic art, you know, which does contain partial abstraction, but still. The point is that abstract art and other forms like surrealism is very, very strange to me, because sometimes you'll look at something. I am a photographer, you know, and I believe that every photo tells a story. I did talk about photography in a broad sense in this video here that I posted recently, but it's different because if you're manipulating a photo, then you are creating art in a certain way. But when you're doing it completely from scratch, just painting from your own imagination, I mean, it's normal for your mind to wander and for you to create things that would normally not be perceived normally by the human brain, you know. I get that it's a form of expressionism, and you're just trying to put out your thoughts there on that white canvas and make something new that will tell a story, you know. Look at me rambling on like I'm a freaking artist myself, huh? But still, it's very weird when that takes on a darker turn, which is why certain kinds of art, you know, like Neuer and Neo-Gothic, you know, within the surrealistic art spectrum really frightens me. I have a cousin who's an artist, like literally an artist, you know, he creates paintings from scratch and drawings and stuff, you know. His work is interesting, but it's always scared the hell out of me, you know, because he makes a lot of criticism directed at society and politics and how the world is changing and how humankind is slowly, you know, pushing itself towards its own extinction, you know, which is really frightening when you think about it. And the way he represents that, you know, is very, very, you know, unsettling to me. So there are different kinds of art that are scary, but also they do get the message across. I do understand that. And because some forms of art can be worked upon without drawing directly from real life inspirations, you know, real life sources, it opens the door for you to create many more frightening images that I personally feel are much more unsettling and disturbing than actually impactful. But that's just the way that I feel it, you know. Maybe some of you out there might consider art to be a bit more, you know, let's say deep and meaningful in that aspect, you know. Maybe surrealist art is actually much better for you, you know. I'm not a fan of surrealism, whether it's in art or movies, books, games. I'm not a fan, because every time I consume something that comes from surrealism, it feels like I'm on drugs, you know. It feels like I'm high, and I don't want to be undertaking that journey. So to me, it's very strange, and it's been around for a long time, you know. I do believe that the surgence of abstract art was, I think, in like the 1890s, you know, if I'm not mistaken. That's at the very least when it started to become a thing, or maybe I'm confusing with something else. I don't think, maybe it's not that. Let me take a look at my cheat sheet here and see if I can find something. I don't think so. I don't believe that it came from the 1800s. I said 19th century, but, well, I guess I said something stupid. Well, hey, just for the hell of it, let's take a look at some more photos here while I collectively collect my embarrassing collectivism. That's it, man. You know, it is what it is, and it just, art, man, what you gonna do? You know, it's very strange. You know, it can be very beautiful at times, you know, depending on what the artist, you know, creates and how he or she depicts it. But in general, you know, it's just art has this very inexplicable subjectiveness to it that makes me very uncomfortable at times, you know. And the first time that I did this video a few years ago, I didn't cover it as extensively as I am now. I didn't include photos, so that's why I like to remake some of these videos sometimes, you know, so they're not always so bland like they were the first time around. And also I'm running out of ideas, you know, because I have over 900 videos at this point and it's been getting really crazy, you know, and I'm short on time these days, so I have to try to make vlogs that are simpler so I can have time to edit and export and upload and stuff, so you guys can keep having your content, your daily dose of Chazzy here on YouTube. But holy freaking crap, it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher to keep my channel going. And I'm sad. I've been going through some stuff lately outside of YouTube and it's been really draining me emotionally. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to record any videos addressing it because I want this place to be just for entertainment purposes for you guys, you know. But just know that I'm okay. I'm getting better. It's just been rough. Why exactly I'm saying this now here at the end, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too careless, you know. I'm just like, I want to talk to somebody, but there's nobody to talk to, so maybe I'll just come here and talk to you guys and just say that my heart is broken over so many hours of pain and torture and but anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this topic here in the comments below. Let me know what you think about art, if you think that it is subjective and it should be considered more critical and less critical in some areas here and this and that, you know. Let me know. Let's have a little healthy debate. And if you happen to like this video, please go ahead and give it a like and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, please hit the notification bell too so you can know exactly what time I upload, and it's all good, baby. It's all good. It's all good. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen.